A tragic development over the past week was the passing of John Peter Bain, or as he's more commonly known in the internets, TotalBiscuit, popular game critic who's made a name for himself on YouTube with over 2.2 million subscribers. After a years-long, brave, arduous fight with cancer, he unfortunately succumbed to the disease on May 24th, 2018 at 33 years of age. Now, I'll admit that I myself am not super familiar with his work or history, but I have watched a couple of his videos. I do know that he was a big proponent for consumer-friendly practices in video games. I know he has spoken out against predatory practices like loot boxes. I know he's advocated for a lot of indie games, smaller game studios, and underdogs of the gaming industry. And while not everything he said or did always resonated with everyone, there is no denying that he was a prominent voice in the gaming industry, and he left a big mark. Which is why if you check out social media right now, you'll see that content creators, media outlets, game studios, and game developers from all over have taken the time to reach out and express their condolences. But one individual, a developer from Bioware, had a completely different idea on how to deal with the situation, resorting to celebrate and mock TotalBiscuit's passing instead. The first two messages on his string of tweets tells you everything you need to know. They read, quote, "Weird, the world just felt a little bit better sometime around an hour and a half ago. Maybe it was just those running shoes I got for my run home. Oh wait, I know, it's because TotalBiscuit died. Hey everyone, watch this. I know it's rude to piss on someone's grave, but these axes aren't going to grind themselves." From there, he went on to express his disdain for the fact that TotalBiscuit has been very critical of two major games that Crooks worked on, claiming that the criticism was shitty and didn't help anyone, that his fan base was toxic, that he threw abuse around to developers and communities to elevate his own position, and basically just went on a Twitter rampage to express his utter disdain for not just TotalBiscuit's content, but the man himself. Crooks finally concluded by stating, quote, "I'm saying this for myself, but I might as well be saying this for those who were, and still could be. Fuck that guy 9 ways to Sunday, and good riddance to bad rubbish." Wow, this guy has some issues and insecurities to work out. It's worth noting that shortly after this string of tweets was posted, David Crooks deleted these posts and made his account private. No doubt due to the backlash he was probably receiving, and because his actions probably didn't do him any favors with his employer, Bioware. Look, I'm not gonna go around and start claiming that TotalBiscuit was perfect, because frankly nobody is, and I'm not gonna say that he hasn't ruffled a few feathers, but that doesn't make it any less disgusting to revel in someone's death. Love him or hate him, John Peter Bain was a human being who had friends and family and followers who loved him, and for a lot of people, his passing was a tragic loss, and they're going through a hard time right now. He may have said or done some controversial things, but to go as far as debasing him as if he were some kind of evil monster, it's just uncalled for, and more than anything, it is cowardly, pitiful, and pathetic. I'm not saying people aren't allowed to have their own opinions on TotalBiscuit, but there is a time, a place, and a way to express yourself, and David Crooks handled it in the scummiest way possible. But hey, at the end of the day, all David Crooks managed to achieve was the opposite effect of what he intended. The only person he managed to debase and make look like an utter villain was himself. Now, it is important to keep in mind that this was all just the rant of one pitiful man whose actions don't represent the parties he was involved with, namely Bioware and EA. Instead of remaining quiet about the debacle, Casey Hudson was kind enough to speak out and express his disappointment about the comments that one of his employees made about the passing of TotalBiscuit. He also made it clear that the comments were made by someone who was previously a part of Bioware, likely suggesting that David Crooks was let go from his position as systems programmer, and rightfully so. And considering what a debacle this is set to become, I'm not sure there are many prominent studios who'd be willing to hire a man like David Crooks. Hudson then concluded by stating that Crooks' comments do not represent the views of Bioware, EA, or himself, before expressing his condolences to John Bain and his family. I would say that was prudently handled by the head of Bioware himself, and as contentious as Bioware and EA have been as of late when it comes to their products and practices, I don't believe that the actions and statements of one disturbed man should be something they should be held responsible for. There is a lot one can say about Bioware and EA, but facilitating this kind of behavior isn't one of them. I myself also wish to express to the friends and family of John Bain my condolences, and wherever John may be, I hope he's resting in peace. I didn't know him personally, but it did sadden me to hear about a fellow content creator's passing. Regardless of whatever friction there may have been in regards to his content, one thing that's universally agreed upon is that TotalBiscuit fought bravely given his condition. He was always optimistic and strong in how he dealt with his predicament, and in the end, he went out like a champ, and nothing that a crook like David Crook spouts will ever change or diminish that. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you for tuning in, and with that, I will see you guys next time. Yong out!